Okay. So let's have a quick recap what we have discussed in the last session. In the last session, we have discussed about how we can create our AWS account. And we have discussed about how we can create our Linux EC2 machine. And we have connected our Linux EC2 machine with the help of. In today's session, also, we are going to discuss about how we can connect our machine, Linux EC2 machine with Git Bash. And then we'll start learning about Linux. But before starting of this particular topic, any question anyone have? Before that, you can please raise your hand. Anyone have any question? Look like no one has any question. So we'll start with our today's topic where we are going to discuss about Linux commands. But before learning about those Linux commands, what I need to create one Linux EC2 machine. So I'm going to follow the same process, the process which we have followed in our previous session. So I don't need just a minute. Just a minute, yes, I'm actually deleting something which I have created in today's morning AWS session, which I forget to delete. I don't have. So I don't have. Just a minute. Now I'm going to create a new machine. So first of all, what we need to do is we need to give the name of our machine, Linux 131. Scroll down. Now in previous session, we have created a machine with Amazon Linux. In today's session, I'm going to create a Ubuntu machine. Scroll down. And in Ubuntu, which version we are using it? 22.04. This is the latest version of Ubuntu. Scroll down. Instance type, we are getting same as T2 micro. We are going to use the same instance type T2 micro because we have discussed T2 micro is coming under T2. Next thing is we need to create key pair. Can I use the existing key pair, the key pair which we have created in previous session? Can I use that one? Or do I need to create a new key? I don't need to create a new key pair. I can use existing one also. The one which we have created in previous session, Linux 131-. Scroll down. Next is security. Do I need to create a new security group or can I use existing one also? I can use existing one also. In previous session, we have created a security group with the name called Launch Wizard 5 in previous session. But I'm not going to use this existing one because I'm going to create a new one. I am going to create a new one because I want to show you how we can give our own name to this security. Rules, I need to use the same rule, the rule which I have used in previous session, SSH. I need to use the same rule also today. There is no change in rule. The only thing why I'm going to show you how we can give our own. But before showing you, I want to ask one question which I have asked in previous session. The same question I'm going to ask. What is the port number for SSH? Please confirm in the chat box what is the port number for SSH. Correct answer, sir. The port number is 20. Now I'll show you that also. It is mentioned in AWS also. So you need to edit these network settings. Scroll down. Here I can give my own name to the security. Earlier we are getting by default name, Launch Wizard 7. Now I have given my own name to this. And see, here it is. So the type which we have selected based on that particular type, here we are. Here we are getting lot of types also we are. Here we go. Source type anywhere. It means we can connect this particular machine from any power. We have a custom option also. In custom, you can mention your IP address. Means a particular IP address you need to mention. We have an option called My IP address. When I select My IP address, it is automatically going to pick my IP address. It means to connect to this particular machine, I am the only person all over the world who can connect to this particular. But I'm giving as any. Scroll down. 8 GB of the storage we are getting it. We have discussed that particular point in previous session. Next, what we need to do, click on blocks. So we have created our machine. Next, we need to connect to this particular machine. In previous session, I have shown you we can connect to our machine with the help of putty. And to connect to this putty, we need to convert PEM into PP. But if I want to connect with another tool, the tool name is called as Git Bash. I don't need to convert into PPK because Git Bash is supporting PEM file. And we are using the existing PEM file, the same PEM file which we have used in our previous session. So select our EC2 machine, click on connect, go to SSH. Under SSH client, in previous session, we have just copied after the PEM file. We have copied from here. This is what we have copied. But now we need to copy the full one. This is what we need to copy. And here it is picking our PEM file also. And here we are getting Ubuntu here. In previous session, we are getting here EC2-user. Other than that, everything is same. Means the IP address, this is actually IP address. So here we are getting that particular IP address, but everything is same after that. I am getting here Ubuntu. Earlier we are getting EC2-user. Any guesses from anyone? You can raise your hand also. Any guess from your side? No, don't worry if it's incorrect, I'll correct. You can please raise your hand if you have any guesses. Yes, Asim. Asim, you can unmute. Asim, you are on mute. I'm not able to hear you. Okay, looks like you have some issue. Yes, Pradeep.
Yeah, putty easy to -user is a username and password will give there itself in a client. And this is SSH. After logging into the server, we'll give the username and password.
Correct. What is this? In previous session, we have used Amazon Linux. So for Amazon Linux, our default username is EC2-user. It means if you are going to create Amazon Linux machine, the default username is EC2-user. And today we have created Ubuntu machine. For Ubuntu, this is the default user. The name of the default user is, like if I'm going to create any other, let's say I'm going to create Debian. So might be at that time their default username something else. It can be root or whatever is AWS has said, that particular will be their default user. For Ubuntu, we have a default username Ubuntu. For Amazon Linux, we have a default username called Amazon. Use Linux, we have EC2 hyphen. And these are the default username we are getting. Not for, this is not for Linux, I can say. This is for Amazon Linux, and this one is for Ubuntu in AWS Cloud. Now, we have noted down that particular command. With the help of this, we are going to connect. After getting that particular command, we need to download also something. Like in previous session, we have downloaded putty. Same way, we need to download Git bash also. So just search on Google Git bash. Here we are getting the first website, git-scm.com. I'm sharing this particular link in the chat box. You guys can please note down this link also. Here we are getting for Windows. I'm using Windows operating system. So I'm going for, as per your system requirement, just click on that Windows setup. System is downloading the exe. Now, in previous session, when we use putty, I told you we don't need to install putty. Yes, it is not required to install putty and putty gem. But if you are downloading Git, it is mandatory to install. So how you can install? Double click on this. It's very simple to install also. In my system, it is already there. If I'm trying to install again, you can see it is showing Git bash here. If I'm trying to install, what happened? It is going to uninstall it. Then they are going to install it. So let me show you that. Next, 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 next. No need to do anything. Just click on next, next, next. See, it is first removing the previous version from my system. So if it's already there, it is removing the previous version. First, it is removing it, and then again I need to install. It's taking time. Still in process. Still taking more time to uninstall. Still in process. Still taking more time. Still in process. And so first they have uninstalled it. Now they have installed here and if you right click on your computer, here you are able to see Git bash. When you click on Git bash, your system is going to open Git. But where you need to open this Git bash, you need to open a folder where you have stored your temp file. Where we have stored our temp file, we have stored our temp file in batch 130. Click on that particular folder. Right click in this particular folder where you have stored your temp file. Don't open this Git in some other location. If you are going to open in some other location, you are not able to connect. Right click, Git bash. Git bash get open. Now just copy that particular command, paste here, enter. Are you sure? I press yes, enter. And you can see here, we are able to connect to our Windows Linux EC2. So you want to connect by using putty or you can connect by using Git. Both are same thing. Concept is same thing that we need to work on particular Linux. You guys can familiar with both the tools. Whichever you want to use, you can use as per your interest. Also, both are completely working fine and both are using frequently in real time. So any question anyone have regarding this connectivity, please let me know. Anyone have any question? Okay. No questions. So we'll start with our today's topic where we are going to discuss about Linux. I might be some of you are already aware of those Linux command. We are not going in much more depth for Linux, but yes, basics of Linux commands we are going to use in this particular. And we all know what is Linux. Linux is an open source operating system, which anyone can pick that operating system and create as per their own. And here I have mentioned few of the Linux-based operating system: Amazon Linux, Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat. These are the examples of Linux-based operating system. Now we start learning about Linux machine. So I have already created one Linux machine, and today we have created Ubuntu Linux. We are already able to connect to our machine. The first thing what we are going to learn here is we are going to learn about how we can create a file in our Linux machine. In Linux machine, to create a file, we have multiple ways. So from those multiple ways, few of the options we are going to learn how we can create our. The first option I'm going to show you is cat command. We have one command called cat command. With the help of that, we can create our file. So let me show you the command. Cat space. We need to give the symbol space our file. The file which we want to create, we need to mention that particular file. I'm giving the file name as AWS. Enter. Enter. Now what happened? Again, my cursor is there. It is asking me to type the content in this particular. Let's take example. I'm giving this. Welcome to AWS Devops. One line I've added. Press enter. I'm going to add one more line. I'll enter today's date, 11th May 20. Enter one more line, and I'm giving my name. Enter. Now I need to exit this particular file. How can I exit this particular file? By pressing Control. Now we are able to see Ubuntu @IP, and this is the private IP of our machine we are able to see. So we have created our file. Now I need to see this particular file. How we can see this particular file? By just using a very simple command called ls. So we have used this particular command ls. With the help of ls command, we can view our file, the file which we have created with the name called AWS. Next step. Next step is I need to clear the screen. Means in the terminal, whatever we have mentioned it, I need to clear my screen. Only this terminal. So we are using a command called so we have cleared our. So what we have done, we have just discussed about 3 commands. First, we have created a file with the help of cat command. Second, we have seen list of file by using ls command. Again, I'm able to see my file. And the third one is we have clear list. Next one. If I want to read the content of the file, how can I read the content? Again, we are using a same command call. Earlier, what we have done, if I want to create a file, we have used cat space symbol space our file. But if I want to read a file, I just need to mention cat space file. And you can see here the 3 lines which I have given in my file. I'm able to read those 3 lines. This is how, if you want to read the content of your file, we can read with the help of. Any question anyone have till now? Please let me. Please raise your hand if you have any question, please. Guru Prasad, you can unmute. It will be easy for me to answer your question. Yes, Guru Prasad, you can unmute. Yes, you can unmute.
Sir, if you close the machine, sir, if you close the machine and reopen the machine again, but the file will not be saved in that machine, right?
The file is saved. You can try that also.
Sir, I tried once.
Okay, let me do
Sir, I
one.
tried using putty, but that
Hmm?
I tried using putty, but the file will not be saved. It's
I'm
showing
opening
no file,
again.
no directory.
Just I've connected my machine in another terminal. See? Blue. I'm able to see the file.
Okay. Sir, using
Okay.
putty also it will be saved.
Same procedure. You can connect your machine, will work. Because by default files are getting saved because we have used a command called control D. Control D is help us to save the file.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, Anil, you can unmute.
Yeah, hi Ankit. The comments are same for Ubuntu and Amazon Linux.
95% of Linux commands are same in every Linux-based operating system. 95% of the Linux. But 5% is vary as per the service provider also.
Can we
There is
get
a
the
there is
Linux
a reason
command sheet?
behind also. There is a reason behind why the Linux commands are vary because of the repository actually. If I talk about Amazon Linux, Red Hat commands are same. 100% commands are same because in that one the repository is called as yum repository. In Ubuntu it is called as apt repository.
Can we get
Okay.
the cheat sheet?
You will get the cheat sheet also in the end of this particular PPT.
Okay. Ankit, thank you.
So when I'm uploading this particular PPT, in the last slide, you have all the AWS, sorry, all the Linux commands you have here, A to Z.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so now we'll move forward here. So let me just disconnect one terminal. Now I'm going to show you how can I remove a file also. To remove a file, we are going to use a command called rm. Rm space is used to delete our. Now check ls. See, I'm not able to see the file. Why we are not able to see the file? Because we have deleted that particular. This is how we can remove our file. Now, earlier we have seen how we can create a file. Now I'm going to show you how we can create a directory. Now, what is directory? In our Windows machine, we are calling it a folder. In Linux, it is called as directory. So I'm going to create a directory. To create a directory, we need to use a command called mkdir. Mkdir, make directory. And I'm creating a directory with the name called training. Directory name can be any name. Even you can give your name also to the directory. Then so we have created a directory. This is the name of the directory we have given. Check by using ls. Here we are able to see our directory. Now I'm going to use one more command called pwd. Anyone knows the full form of pwd? You can confirm me in the chat box. Then I'll explain you what pwd command is also doing. Anyone knows? Okay, I got few answers. All are correct. A few are incorrect also, but correct answer is present working directory. Someone has sent me the answer print working directory. That is incorrect. But the correct answer is present working directory. Someone also sent me answer password. That is also incorrect. Correct answer is present working directory. Present working directory means at what location right now I am working. Like if I talk about in Windows, what is my current present working directory? I can click in this particular path above. This is the path where I'm working on. This is my current working directory. It's in C users Ankit desktop batch 130. This is the present working directory in Windows. So we can just check from here. But in Linux, if you want to check, we need to use a command called pw. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use one more command. I'm going to use a command called change directory. To change a directory, it means I need to go into the folder. In Windows machine, if I want to go into the batch 131 folder, what I'm doing it, I'm double clicking on that folder. I'm under that particular. By using this terminal, if you want to go into that particular directory, you need to use a command called cd space that particular directory. It means that particular folder name you need to mention if you want to go into that particular folder. Now again, I'm going to use pwd. Earlier when I've used, we are getting home Ubuntu. But now when I'm using, what I'm getting it, home Ubuntu, because right now I am under the training directory. That is why it is displaying us this particular path. This is the current location where my cursor is there and where I'm working. Next, I'm going to create a file under this particular same way like earlier I have done by using cat command. I'm going to, and I'm giving the file name as my name. Okay. Just mention as now I need to exit this particular. How can I exit this particular file? By just pressing Control. And we have exit our file and now we are able to see it. Can we read that file? We are able to read. Now what I need to do is I need to come out from this particular directory. And I need to go to one of my previous directory. As per my current location, what is the name of my previous directory? Anyone can please let me know as per my current location, what is my previous directory name? You can confirm in the chat box or you can raise your hand also. As per this location. Correct. The correct answer is Ubuntu. Ubuntu is my previous directory as per my current location. If I want to go to one of the previous directory, it means I want to go to my previous location. In Windows, what we are doing it, we are pressing this back button. We are pressing this back button to go to previous directory. But in Linux, what we are doing it, we are using a command called cd space. Is these two dots mandatory? Yes. See, again, I'm using pw. See? Come out from that particular training directory just by using a command called cd space dot. Only two dots you need to give. You don't need to give more than. Next. We are moving out from the web. Now I'm going to delete a directory. Now I'm going to show you, I want to delete this particular directory. To delete this particular directory, I'm going to use a command called rmdi. Remove directory. Oops, sorry. But when I use this particular command, I'm getting an error message. Why I'm getting error message? Because under this directory, I have a one file also. And to delete a directory with this particular command, rmdir, we need to first make sure that our directory is empty. We make sure our directory is empty. If our directory is not empty, we can't delete our directory by using this particular. Is there any other option? Yes, we have. Here we go. rm-r space directory. -r means recursive. With this, what happened? Our directory is also going to be deleted. And under our directory, whatever the files we have, system is also going to delete those files. So I'm just copying this particular command, paste. Check ls. You can see here our training directory is so this is how we can delete our directory. If it's empty, you can use rmdir. If it's not empty, you can delete by using this particular. Any question anyone have till now? Please let me know. Anyone have any question? No questions? Let's move forward. You can please raise your hand, guys, if you have any question. It will be easy for me to answer it. You're sending me in the chat box, quite difficult for me to concentrate on multiple things. So please unmute yourself. Yes, Suchit, you can unmute. Suchit, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So the -r, is it like case sensitive one?
Yes, it is case sensitive. Linux commands are case sensitive. You need to use in small letter. You can't use in the capital.
Okay, sir. Thank
Okay. Yes, you can unmute.
Hello, sir. Sir, as we
Yes.
have not entered any data, we have just created the file, but then how it's showing that directory is not empty?
Directory is not empty because under a directory we have a file.
Yeah, right, sir. But no
File is
data
not
is
empty.
okay.
We have given some data into that file while creating. If you see here, I have written some data. Welcome to AWS Devops training. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Now I got it.
Even if a file is empty,
Okay.
then also you're not able to delete that directory because under the directory file is there. Doesn't make any difference that file is empty or not. But a file is there under that particular.
Okay, sir. Now I got it.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to clear this particular screen. Next thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a directory with the name called D1. And under D1, I'm going to create a directory with the name called D2. I'm going to follow this particular process. Anyone can help me with this particular process and guide me. How can I create D1 directory, and under D1 I can create D2 directory. Anyone, you can raise your hand. Who can help me with this? Anyone? Yes, Mehta.
I think first we create D1.
Tell me the commands, Mehta. Which command should I go?
Yeah,
Okay, mkdir, then
space D1,
correct. Enter.
then enter.
Next step.
Then again, we go into we need to go on a D1 directory.
How we can go to D1 directory?
Sorry.
No issues. We can use a command called cd space D1. CD stands for change directory.
Yeah.
Okay. Done. Next step.
Then mkdir D2.
Correct. Next step. Now I need to go into the D2 directory.
Yeah. Then
How can I go to
cd D2?
Correct. CD space D2.
Sorry, yeah, cd space D2. Yeah.
So this is how we can create a directory, and under a directory we have created one more directory. Thank you, Mehta, for your help. Thank you so much. Sorry. Now again, I'm going to use a command called pwd. When I use a command called pwd, here is the current location, current path of my working directory. It is showing this. In previous example, we have used one command called cd space dot dot. Earlier, when I used cd space dot dot, I was going to Ubuntu, because at that time after Ubuntu, we have a directory name called training. But now I have D1 also, I have a D2 also. But now if I'm using this cd space dot dot, do I directly go to Ubuntu or do I go to D1 directly? What do you think, guys? Please send me your answer in chat box. Do I go to D1 directory or do I go to Ubuntu now? If I'm using a command called cd space dot dot. You can send your answers in chat box, guys, for this particular answer. Okay. Few are saying we go to D1 and few are saying we go to. So I'm just going to press enter and we will see the answer. Where my cursor is there? In D1. I can use pwd command. So cd space dot dot is help us to go to previous folder. I can say like a previous folder. I'll give you one example. I'll go to this PC, D drive. I'll go to AWS training. Under AWS training, we have a folder called training files. We have a folder called AWS Architect Associate PPT. I'll go to this. Now I need to go to training files. How can I go to training files? By pressing this add button. I don't need to come to my desktop, or I don't need to go to my this PC. I need to go to this training file. Training file is the previous directory. See, now and I am under our training files, and under our training files, we are able to see those things. So this is how what we have done here. cd space dot dot help us to go to one of the previous level. Whatever one previous folder are there or previous directory are there, we are into that particular directory with the help of cd space. Now, again, I'm going to cd space. Earlier we have used cd space dot dot. So we are going to previous directory. But now we have a one more command. Just only write cd. Now what will happen if I just only write cd command? If I just give cd command, in that particular case, it will directly go to our Ubuntu. Wherever you are in one single directory or you are in 100 directories. If you just use cd command directly from that particular location, you will come to Ubuntu. Means to your username, you will direct it. I'm using pwd. See, I'm in home. I'll explain you in Windows also. Like I am in this PC. I'm in D drive. I'll go with AWS. I'm in this particular one. I need to directly go to desktop. I can click here and directly in the desktop. Same way here also. So if I just use CD command, I am in one folder or I am in 10 folders. So if I just use CD command, directly from that particular location, you will jump to your user, whatever the user you have, you will directly jump to your. So there are total 3 commands. Don't get confused here. One is CD with change directory. One is CD space dot dot. Other one is only CD command. So CD command is used at 3 places. Once you want to change the folder, that time also CD command will also use. CD space dot dot is used if you want to go to previous directory, or CD command is also used if you directly come to your. So the same CD command with having multiple feature, but with little bit of changes. Now, let's take example. I directly need to go to D2 directory. I need to go to D2 directory. If I need to go to D2 directory, I know the path. I can go to D1, then I can go to D2 directory like this. But if I remember this particular path, if you don't know the path, you need to follow this process. First, you need to go to D1 and then you can go to D2 directory. But if you know the particular path, just by CD command and mention your path, you can directly go to that particular directory. How? Let me show. CD space D1 slash enter. See, PWD. I'm directly come to the D2 directory without moving to D1 directory. But to go to directly to that particular directory, you need to know that particular path where you are directly going in. If you don't know the path, no one can move it. You need to first go to one directory and then check in which particular directory you need to go. In that particular case, you need to go one more. If you remember, you can directly jump to that particular directory. Any question anyone have till now? Please let me know. Yes, Asim, you can unmute. Asim, to check, Asim, you have raised your hand. Anyone have any question? You can please raise your hand also. Asim, I'm not able to hear you. You're on mute. Yes, Krishna. Sorry, Krish.
Hi, Ankit. Very good afternoon. So
Good afternoon.
I would like to ask if coding knowledge is required for DevOps.
No coding knowledge is required. No pre required. Only basic
Will there
Linux
be-
is required. That's what
Mhm.
we are learning.
Okay. I mean, we don't use any scripts or something like that.
Whatever the
because-
scripting is required, that is written by the testers or by the developers.
Okay, okay.
We are not writing any scripting language.
Okay. So we'll come as DevOps administrator or how it is?
DevOps, we are calling it cloud DevOps because this is AWS DevOps, so you can call it as cloud DevOps, or you can also call it as AWS DevOps.
Okay. That means our roles will be generally DevOps admin or how? What is the role of if we apply for DevOps jobs after learning the course? So what is going to be our, that means role?
You
Say,
need
for
to
example,
manage it. You need to manage DevOps service tools, whichever you are learning in this framework.
Okay.
Means it needs to be, your role will be AWS DevOps.
No, actually, my question is like you said, like developers will be writing the code and testers and
Yes.
they will be writing the code. So normally, if you take system administrators, they are purely into maintaining servers or
No, we are
applications
not.
like that.
Yeah, you're correct. But here the job role is called as AWS DevOps.
AWS
Post,
DevOps.
that's a job role. Or if I talk
Okay.
about only a, because if you are go with AWS also, AWS DevOps also, it is called as AWS DevOps. Because you are working on DevOps with AWS platform.
Even if we want to search in Naukri, we can search only with the keyword
AWS DevOps. That is sufficient.
Okay.
No need to do with any other keyword. You will find only with that.
Okay.
Okay.
That means none of the
If you just search a word called DevOps, what happen is you will find Azure DevOps jobs also, you will find on-premises DevOps also, you will find AWS DevOps also, or Google Cloud DevOps also, you will find.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so just you need to search a word with AWS DevOps.
So no coding. I mean, I don't have any knowledge about coding or any
Don't worry, you
scripts.
don't require any knowledge of coding and scripting. It's required.
Okay. Thank you so much. Got it.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Ramakrishna.
Hi, Ankit. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Here, Ubuntu is also a directory.
Ubuntu is our user.
Okay.
And it's our user. So whenever we are using CD, directly jump to our user.
Okay.
Ubuntu, root, sorry?
Home.
Home is our directory. You can say it's home is our directory, home directory. We
Okay,
have.
that is the root directory, you mean to say?
Correct. You can say that's a root.
Okay.
You want to switch, you can switch to root also. We'll discuss in upcoming session how to switch to root also.
Okay. Root directory user and the user defined directories it will show like that only, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, one more question I have.
Mm-hmm.
If I created different files under different folders which are under Ubuntu, so if I given the ls command, so under Ubuntu, so will I see all the files present in different folders also?
No. If you want to use, you need to use a command called tree command.
Tree command, okay.
Well, tree command, if I'm using right now, you are not able to use tree command. There's a reason behind about the tree command. I'll discuss in the upcoming session regarding the tree.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Yes, Manoj.
Yeah, hi. My question was, suppose we have 10 directories. I want to go for 6 directory.
Okay.
Yeah, how can I go?
Same way. CD's message mention the path of that 6th directory. Means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6th directory path. You will go to 6th directory. You will not go to the 10th directory. Now I'll clear your doubt also. Just give me a minute. I will go to D2 directory right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Under D2 directory, I'm going to create one more directory called D3. Okay. Now I've directly come to my Ubuntu user. Clear? Yeah. I don't need to go to D3 directory. I again need to go to D2 directory. So I can use a command again cd d1/. Now I'm in D2 directory, not in D3. Okay. So it is not mandatory to go to always the last directory. You can go in between of the directory with this particular option.
Thanks.
Okay. Okay. Let's check the next thing. Next thing we are going to do one thing. We are going to create more files in our Ubuntu user. Cat AWS. I just give as welcome. Thank you. Control. ls command. I have a one file AWS. I have a one directory with the name called D1. How can I prove that D1 is a directory or AWS is a file? We have created it, so I know that. I have created D1 directory, so I know that. I have created AWS file. I know that. But how can I give a proof that this is the directory, it's a file? I'll give you one option here that we have color. We are able to see colors here. This is one option. With the help of colors we can identify. But let's take example in future, when we get a new update, in new update, they have removed that color. AWS directory also getting the blue color and file is also getting the blue color. Then how we can give a proof? How we identify it's a directory or a file? We have a command called ls -l. When I use this particular command ls-l, if you see the first letter for AWS is hyphen, first one is for D1 directory. If you are getting first as hyphen, it means it's a file. If you are getting first letter as a D, it means it's a directory. So this is how we can identify it's a file or it's a directory. So we can identify by using colors also, but colors is not a correct option. The correct option is by using our Linux command. Hyphen means file, D means directory. So this is how we can identify it's a file or a. And even you are able to see something called RW-R-. Here also you are able to see something called RWX. What are these? These are called as permissions. These are called as permission. Regarding the permission, we'll discuss in our upcoming session. So how we can manage these permission, how I can change the permission of this particular file, we will discuss in our upcoming session when we learn about permission stuff. So this is how we can check our file or a. Now I'm going to create a hidden file. If I want to create a hidden file, how can I create a hidden file? In previous example, we have used cat command to create a file. At that time, I have told you to create files, we have multiple options. One option I have shown you. Now I'm going to show you one more option. What is that second option? Batch command. Batch is also the command. With the help of this one, we can create our files. Now, batch dot file name. What is this dot? If I want to create a hidden file, before file name, if I give dot, system will consider that particular file as a hidden. I'm using ls. Are we able to see our training file here? ls-l. Are we able to see our hidden file here? No. Why? Because dot training is a hidden file. So how we can see our hidden files? By using a command called ls-a. With the help of ls-a, we are able to see our hidden file. D1 also we are able to see AWS files. With this, you are able to see 6 more, 2 directories and 4 folders we are able to see. Sorry, 2 directories and 4 files we are able to see. If you want to see hidden files or hidden directory, you can see by using ls-. Now I'm going to show you how to create a hidden directory. dir dot. Before directory name also, if you give dot, I'm just giving the name as train. Ls, we are not able to see. ls-a. You can see here, we are able to see our hidden directory. So to create hidden directory or to create file before file name or before directory name, you just need to give a dot. If you give dot, system is going to consider that particular file or a directory as a hidden file or a directory variable to. And if you see here, we have a one directory name called .ssh. It is one of the very important directory we have in Linux machine. Without this particular directory, we are not able to connect our machine with the help of temp file. This is a very important directory. We have it. What is the actual use of this particular directory? You will learn in AWS training. So any question anyone have? You can please raise your. Yes, Mehta.
Hi, Ankit. Okay, I just need to know, for the cat, we also use to create the file, yeah? And touch, we also use for create the file.
We have multiple options to create files. This is just a two option which I've shown you. There are more ways with the help of that we can create files.
Yeah, so my question is there, when we if we create a hidden file, can we use cat dot training or something?
Yes. You can use while practice. You can try that also. It will work.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone have any more questions? You can please raise your hand. Okay. So here we have discussed about if you want to create a file, before file name also you can give a dot, or before directory name also you can give a dot. System is going to create hidden file or a hidden directory. And here you can see we have a one directory .ssh. It's a hidden directory and one of the very important directory. So in today's session, we have discussed about few of the Linux commands. Our Linux commands is not yet completed. We have still long way to go to learn about our Linux commands. We have total 29 slides. And we have completed till only 10 slides. From 11th page, from 11th slide, we need to start from the tomorrow session. In tomorrow's session, we are going to start from the 11th. Thank you all. Thank you for joining the today's session. See you tomorrow. If you have any question, you can please email me also by practice. If you have any question, you can also raise your hand right now also if you want to ask, or you can email. Yes, madam.
Ankit, are you going to share this PowerPoint slide?
Yes, definitely. We are going to upload in our website.
All right, thanks.
Like earlier, I have uploaded the last two sessions one also. This one every day PPT is going to upload. Everything is you are going to share with you guys. Whatever in this training I am going to use, everything is going to share with you guys.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining the today's session. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day. Thank you.